This is page 2 of your polynomial test review. Number 7 says to find the area of the following figure. So the key word here is area, and our formula for area is length times width. So here is our length and here is our width. So we're going to take the two terms here, the binomial times a binomial, and we're going to multiply them. To help us multiply, we're going to draw a box. So I'm going to draw us a box over here off to the side. Because it's two terms, we need two spaces, and this one is also two terms, so we need two spaces on the side. So here's our 2 by 2 box. We're going to write 7x plus 2 on the top and 4x plus 3 on the side. Okay, here is our box, and now I'm going to multiply it out. And we have a regular calculator here today because Desmos is not loading right now. So we're going to multiply, moving in an L shape, 4 times 7. So using our calculator, for 7 times 4 is 28. X times x is going to give us x squared. Then we're going to multiply 4 times 2 to give us a positive 8. And we're going to bring our x with us. Moving in an L shape still, we're going to multiply 7 times 3 to give us a positive 21. X, we're bringing that 1x with us down, and then our last two terms in the last box, we're going to multiply 3 times 2 to give us a positive 6. So now that we've filled our box, we're going to simplify, which will equal our area here. So starting with the highest power of x squared, we have 28. Then we're going to move to the next highest power, which is our x's. So we have an 8x and we have a 21x. Those are like terms, which means we need to add them together. So we're going to add 21 plus 8 to give us a positive 29x. And then my last term in my last box is by itself, a positive 6. So we're just going to add that one on the end, plus 6. And that is your area for the figure below. 7 has a two-part question, so the next part says, if the area of the rectangle is represented by the expression f of x, what is the value of k? So this one is asking for your k value. And our k value is the number next to x. So as you can see, we've already solved for our area. We have the same numbers. I'm just going to highlight those. This middle term is the number next to x, and we already solved for it, so we would say our k value is 29. That would be your final answer for that second part. K is 29. Okay, moving on to number 8, it says, what is the product of this expression here? Complete the expression below that represents the product. Don't forget the signs. Okay, so product means we are multiplying. As you can see, these two parentheses are squished together, so we're multiplying. However many terms depends on your box that you draw. So this first one has 1, 2, 3 terms, so we have a trinomial, times 1, 2 terms, which is a binomial. So for a binomial, I need 2 spaces on the side, like so. So 1, 2. And for a trinomial, I need 3 spaces on the top. So 1, 2, 3 on the top. And we're just going to fill those in, starting with my binomial on the side. We have a negative 3a, don't forget your signs, and a positive 5. The trinomial is going to go on top. We have a positive a squared, a positive 2a, and a negative 3. Don't forget your signs. So now that we have our box set up, we're going to multiply it out, starting with the big numbers. Remember, just a is 1, so we can write a 1 there to help us multiply. And I'm going to use my calculator to help with that. So we have a negative 3 times a positive 1, which gives us a negative 3. For my a's, we have a times a squared. So my exponents, remember a is just 1. Exponents we add. So if I have 1 plus 2, I have a to the third. Next box, we have negative 3 times a positive 2. To give us a negative 6, and we have 1a plus another 1a, so we have a squared. 1 plus 1 is 2. Then we're going to multiply negative 3 times a negative 3 to give us a positive 9 in this last box, and we only have 1a to bring with us. Moving to the bottom row, we're going to multiply 5 by every number at the top. So 5 times 1 is 5, and we have a squared, so we're going to bring that with us. Next number, we have 5 times 2, which is a positive 10a. We're going to bring that 1a with us. And the last two terms in the last box, 5 times a negative 3 is going to give us a negative 15. So now that I have my box filled, we are going to write the product. Product is after you multiply. So we start with the highest power. My highest power is a to the third, or a cubed. So it's already written right here for a cubed. We're just filling in the big numbers. So negative 3, a cubed. Next, we're going to move on to the next highest power, which is a squared. So we have a negative 6a squared, and we have a 5a squared. So we have like terms here that we need to add together. So I'm going to add 5 plus a negative 6 to give me a negative 1a squared. However, we don't write negative 1a squared, so we're just going to write negative a squared. Next, we're going to move on to the next highest power, which is 9a. But we have another a here, which is 10a. So we have to combine those like terms as well. So we're going to add 10 plus 9 to give us 19a, which is going to go here. And this last term in the last box is by itself, negative 15. So that's just going to go on the end over here, negative 15. And this is the final product. Moving on to number 9, it says the height of a billboard is 3x minus 7. Its perimeter is 16x plus 14. What is the width of the billboard? Okay, so the height of the billboard is this one. Here we have the height of the billboard is 3x plus 7. So this is going to be my height, 3x minus 7. So if this is the height, this is also the height, because for a rectangle, these are the same sides and the same measurements. So here's my height. However, it says its perimeter, so P equals 16x plus 14. Perimeter means all the sides added up together. So that means this side plus this side plus this side plus this side. However, we are missing two sides here. I don't know what this side length is. So in order to do that, we're going to start by adding up the height first of these two sides of my rectangle. We're going to do that by highlighting our like terms. So I have 3x plus 3x, which is going to give me a positive 6x. So those are like terms combined. Then we're going to combine these like terms, -7 plus -7. Make sure you add that up correctly. -7 plus -7 is a -14. And that is those two sides combined. Now, in order to find these sides, we're going to subtract our perimeter from the two sides that we just found. So here is our perimeter, 16x plus 14, and we're going to subtract these two sides. So before we start doing that, remember a negative sign in front of my parentheses is going to change all of my signs inside the parentheses. So this is an imaginary 1 here. So if we distribute that -1, we're multiplying -1 times a +6, and it turns it into a -6x. Again, a -1 times a -14 turns into a +14. Once I'm done distributing that negative, we're going to bring down the other numbers, so 16x plus 14. And we are combining like terms. So we are solving for these two sides still. So my like terms are 16x and -6. So we're going to add those two together. I like to combine them with a line and a plus sign. So I have 16 plus a -6 to give us a +10. X, we just combined our x's. And then we're going to combine these two terms here, 14 and +14. So we're going to connect these as well, drawing a plus sign in between. So 14 plus 14 is going to give me a +28. And now this means that this is the length or the measurement for both of these sides combined, but I want to know what they are individually. So that means that there's two sides, so we need to divide this by 2. So what's 10 divided by 2? It's going to give me a 5x, and 28 divided by 2 is going to give me a +14. So that means one side is 5x plus 14, and the other side is 5x plus 14. So that is the width of the billboard. Number 10 says a shoe company calculates the number of shoes their stores need to order by the expressions below. Here is location 1 and here is location 2. Write an expression to represent the combined number of shoes they need to order. So the key word here is combined. What does combined mean? Combined means we are adding. So you're going to add like terms. That is the key word. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to highlight all the like terms, starting with the highest power. So I have 4n squared here, and I have 7n squared here. So we're going to add those two. So I'm going to add 4 plus 7 to give us 11 n squared combined. Okay, then I'm going to move on to my next highest power, which is n. Remember, n is the same thing as 1, so put a 1 there. We're going to add 1n plus -n. So in our calculator, we're taking 1 plus -9n to give us a -8n combined. And our last term is -7/8, and that one's by itself, so that one's going to be written at the end by itself with nothing else to combine it with. So negative 7 over 8. And that is my final answer for number 10. Number 11, last question on your test review. It says that Jeff, Keani, and Zach collect baseball cards. Jeff's total number of cards collected is represented by X. Keani's total is 8 more than 4 times Jeff's total. Zach's total is 12 more than twice Jeff's total. Write an expression that represents the combined total of Keani and Zach's collection. So it says combined, which means at some point we're going to add, but whose are we adding? We're adding Keani's and Zach's. So these two are going to be super important. Okay? However, to start, we're going to start by writing each expression. We're going to start with Jeff. So I'm going to write Jeff equals. Okay? It says Jeff's total number. So the total number represents that equal sign. So Jeff's total number, so Jeff equals, is represented by X. So Jeff is X. That's all he is. That's his expression or equation. For Keani, we're going to say Keani's total, so equal. So Keani equals 8 more than. So 8 more than. That key word represents a plus sign. So 8 plus, we're going to highlight all this, 4 times Jeff's total. So here's your other keywords here. 4 times Jeff's total. And we're going to make Jeff, this is his color. Jeff is X. So you're going to match these numbers and the colors together. So 8 plus 4 times. 4 times is a multiplying. So we're multiplying 4 times Jeff. So 4x. These two are multiplying together. 4 times Jeff's total. So there's Keani's. Now we're going to write Zach's total. So Zach's total, remember total is an equal sign, is 12 more than, so we're going to do 12 plus. More than means a plus sign. Twice. So twice means we're multiplying by 2. Twice of Jeff's total. And Jeff represents X. So you're just matching the words with the numbers. So here are all of their equations written out. The last thing is what we're doing. It says to write an expression that represents the combined total of Keani's and Zach's collection. So we're only taking Keani's, which is 8 plus 4x, and Zach's, which is 12 plus 2x. We're adding these two together. So adding our like terms. Our like terms here are 4x and 2x. So 4 plus 2 is a positive 6x. And then we're adding and combining our numbers. 8 plus 12 is going to give us a positive 20. And this is your final answer for number 11.